Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first video of our SUNY Oneonta Department of Sport and Exercise Science Alumni Engagement Series. My name is Nick O'Leary, and today we are here with Luke Svrcek. Luke, how you doing today?
Living the dream.
Luke is a recent graduate of SUNY Oneonta from last year, and he's currently joining us from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Luke, why don't you tell the people a little bit about yourself?
So I graduated last year from Oneonta with an exercise science degree. And then I was pursuing athletic training, and I ended up getting into my dream program here at Alabama, uh, for my master's in athletic training, which is why I'm here. Um, Grew up in Pawling, New York, which is like 2.5 hours south of Oneonta, and spent most of my time at Oneonta kind of just working out and going to class, which was fun. Um, and then while at Oneonta, I ended up working at Hartwick and Colgate University for some experience as an athletic trainer. And now that I'm down in Tuscaloosa this semester, I'm working with their tennis team to start, which is nice.
How's everything down in Tuscaloosa right now?
It's great. It's 85 degrees out today. Sunny every day, pretty much, which is nice. And it's just totally different than Oneonta. It's a way different experience. So many more people. The way they treat sports down here is unreal. One of the main things is football, obviously, with Alabama,
Yeah,
and
it feels like a
it's
religion.
yeah, it's crazy watching the whole town shut down for football. They close off the main street of the city so that
Yeah,
people can walk through it all day, which is just unreal to me. Yeah,
unbelievable.
yeah.
So tell us a little bit more about your SUNY Oneonta experience. You said you were working at other schools as well. You were working at Hartwick and Colgate. You were working at a few other places. Tell us about that more in depth.
About the other schools I worked at, or about my just experience at Oneonta?
All together, because it could
Okay.
tie in.
So I got really lucky when I went to Oneonta, because I noticed how many resources we have there, and I started taking advantage of them. Like, uh, specifically the research aspect at Oneonta, that you have the opportunity to conduct research with fellow professors. Um, and I got the opportunity to work with Dr. Griffiths in the exercise science department, conducting research and developing a mini course for students, on athletic leadership. And that opportunity helped me travel a little bit as well. Oneonta paid for my travel to present in West Virginia and Florida
Oh,
at two
wow.
conferences. Yeah, which is just awesome. Not only was it great resume points, obviously, but it was just cool that a small school like Oneonta uh, gave me that opportunity. And then also within Oneonta, just developing connections with professors and everything. That's also how I got the internship at Colgate. Was somebody knew somebody, and then they talked, and same thing with Hartwick. Um, and yeah, I'd say most things at Oneonta set me up to be successful here at Alabama, with the exercise science program. Um, yeah, I wouldn't take back any of my time at Oneonta at this point. It was, if you know how to use the system, it's an amazing program.
That's great. So tell us how you were able to get from SUNY Oneonta to Tuscaloosa, Alabama. That's a great story.
Yeah, so at Oneonta, first I started as pre-physical therapy. That's what I thought I wanted to do. I just knew I wanted more education than an undergraduate degree,
Hmm.
and I didn't know if I wanted to get a doctorate in physical therapy or a master's in athletic training. So originally I chose my DPT for physical therapy. And then as I'm going through exercise science, I'm like, wow, I'm getting my first experience working hands-on with athletes at Hartwick. And I really do love working with the athletic population. I was an athlete my whole life growing up, not an athlete in college. Um, but just working with that specific population and how energetic and eager all the players are to return to the field um, was just something that I wanted to be surrounded by. I was like, I want to help people who want to be helped. I don't want to have the opportunity of working in a physical therapy office where it's somebody who is okay with the way they are. They don't need to progress. They're comfortable where they are. They're okay with their pain, whatever it may be. Um, and then once I switched from Hartwick College to Colgate University, I worked with the Colgate football team for a summer. Um, Seeing the difference in like energy or like simply pure electricity from a Division 3 school to a Division 1 school. Um, the kids just loved the sport so much more. No, no, not throwing shade on Division 3 at all, but just the D1 kids loved sport so much more, and you could just tell it was their life, it was their passion, everything like that. So once I started doing my time there, I knew that I wanted to try to get as much D1 experience as possible. So I paid a visit down to Alabama. I tried to get a summer internship down here. Um, Flew all the way down here for interviews and everything. For them to sit me down during the interview and start talking to me. And then one of the last questions in the interview was, "What year in your master's are you?" And I was like, "I'm not in my master's. Y'all know this. I'm an undergrad student." And they went, "Oh, we only take master's students for this internship." And I was like, "Oh, thank you. Could have said that before I flew down." But then they told me to stay in contact and just keep pursuing to get into their program here because they said that like I was the type of student that they would like to see here. Um, so I did that and ended up only applying to the University of Alabama. And then heard back from them, I'd say within a month or two of my application. And because of my research experience at Oneonta, and because of I think I had 350, 400 hours of hands-on experience with athletic training at Oneonta or at Hartwick and Colgate. Um, they took me, and I had great grades in Oneonta, but they weren't amazing grades. There's a lot of kids in my program that had better grades, but they just said that they liked my personality and saw something in me, and they just took their chance with me, and I'm happy they did.
That's great to hear. Tell us some important things you have learned from your SUNY Oneonta experience in the classroom. You've spoken about your hands-on experience. Talk about that.
Um, Say important things would be giving classes a chance. There's a handful of classes in our program that I wasn't too sure about. Um, like I'm more of like the science approach to everything. There's a right and there's a wrong answer to everything is how my brain works. Um, and then there's a couple classes that take like your opinions and your experiences into uh, account. Like for example, I don't know what the class is called now. I know they changed it, but I had like ethical considerations in exercise science. I
Hmm.
didn't think that was going to be a class for me. I was like, I didn't see my opinions or beliefs or anything getting in the way of anything in my practice. But just classes like that, giving them the chance to work and not just being closed-minded, being open-minded about every class you take really makes the experience so much better. Even if you believe something, you got to let yourself able to have your opinion changed. Even if you don't change your opinion, just giving the opportunity to accept new information and new things is a big deal, especially when you're surrounded by so many different people. Like coming from my small town, everybody's the exact same. And then going to Oneonta, even though it is a smaller school still, there's people from all different walks of life. And just using that to your advantage and learning more about the different things that go on, even just in the state of New York. Um, and then I would also say, like, not figuring out, and not taking advantage sounds like kind of negative or like kind of like you're using them, but taking advantage of the system and being an active student and reaching out for new opportunities because there is so many opportunities when it comes to research and travel and everything like that at Oneonta that if you reach out for them and if you work towards them, the chances are you're going to get them. Not too many students are interested in it, which is why there not too many kids do it, but it is just such a great experience. And the fact that Oneonta offers compensation for travel and for work hours is just was a great part that got me through.
That's great to hear. You kind of elaborated my next question. It was going to be, what have you used from your experience here at SUNY Oneonta in your current career now? And you basically just answered that. My next
Yeah.
question is, I understand you are a recent graduate of SUNY Oneonta, but where do you see yourself in the next 5, 10 years?
Um, so hopefully a certified athletic trainer, which at this point should be in March of 26, 2026, something like that. Um, and right now I'm up in the air at this point of where I want to work. That's why I'm here figuring it out. So I'll just give you a little background on the program here. Um, each semester we get assigned to a different sport team to work for. So like right now I'm with men's and women's tennis, which is an awesome program, Division 1. They do all this travel, and it's really interesting because only three of the athletes are American. The rest of them are from Europe, Australia, and Spain.
Oh, wow.
It's interesting being able to see that. I've never seen that in my life. Um, but every semester we get a new team, and I'm excited to see all these different teams to work for just because my experience so far has only been with football. So in my head is I want to work for football, but who knows, maybe I want to work for a different sport. And then there's also new opportunities arising in industrial settings. Like for example, I've been doing research on Amazon hires athletic trainers now,
Oh,
and they
wow.
pay their athletic trainers just about twice as much as colleges would pay an athletic trainer to work for them, which I think is wild. But I'm not sure what setting I want to be in at this point. But I know I want to be a certified athletic trainer, hopefully working somewhere that I enjoy.
That's great to hear. We wish you all the best. Do you have any advice to any sport and exercise science student here, not just at SUNY Oneonta, but just across, the college landscape?
Um, I would say if you plan on doing further education, um, really pay attention and study your anatomy. That's one thing that I lacked in Oneonta is I didn't take anatomy too seriously because it like the specifics of anatomy weren't as applicable to exercise science as I expected them to be. But if you go from exercise science to, let's say, in my example, master's in athletic training, you go in, they expect you to know every muscle, every tendon, every ligament, every bone in the body. And I walked in not knowing that, so I'm doing a lot of catching up on my studying now. Um, so I would say that if you're going into a healthcare field of any kind from the exercise science standpoint, really get to know your anatomy and really study your anatomy. It'll be worth it, so you won't have to study again.
That's some great advice. One last question. Do you, you know, would you, if somebody asked, we're starting the series, so, students here at SUNY Oneonta could reach out to alumni. I mean, would you be able to help SUNY Oneonta students and other college students, get out there in your specific field and maybe help them do what you want to do?
Um, yeah, if somebody were to reach out, I'd be down to help for sure.
That's great to hear.
Yeah.
Well, that is going to be it for this video, the first of our alumni engagement series. We hope to see you soon. We have more content coming on our YouTube page, our TikTok page, and our 2 Instagram pages dedicated to sport management and exercise science. Thank you, Luke, for joining us today. Once again, my name is Nick O'Leary, and have a great day.